I'm Lisa, and this is Happy Scrappy Life. It's a podcast about knitting, crochet, mini skeins, scrappy projects, hopefully some quilting or bag making eventually, and a lot of life jabber. I'm so glad you joined me. This is episode 3. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. It means the world to me. And if you're a new viewer and you've just found me, I'm so glad you're here and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Either way, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button down below. There's also a little icon right next to it that looks like a bell. Go ahead and click that too. That way you'll get reminders in your email when I've uploaded a new episode and you won't miss any. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm Happy Scrappy Life on both Instagram and Ravelry. And I also have a Ravelry group for the podcast. Go to the groups tab and search for Happy Scrappy Life Podcast. We're having a ball over there. It's slowly growing and we've got lots of chatter going on, and I would love for you to join us. It's lots of fun. I did want to talk to you about my recording schedule. Originally I had planned on recording every week, but I'm finding that it's a lot of time involved to do it every week, and to be honest, I just don't feel like I have a lot of knitting to talk about. I tend to work on the same projects over and over, and I tend to not make a ton of progress because of making so many minis and caking yarn and doing my other job that I don't get the time to knit that I would like. I'm working on that. I'm trying to find a balance, thinking a couple days a week or whatever that I don't work on minis at all and I just focus on knitting or crocheting would be awesome. But for now, this is the way it is. I have a lot of swaps planned and they take time, and I don't have a lot of knitting to show you. So after today, I'm going to go to a every 2-week schedule. So I will record again in 2 weeks. I'm hoping that'll give me some more time to accumulate more knitting, maybe even some finished objects, and more minis to talk to you about as well. So hope you don't mind. That'll also give you time to watch my episodes and post your items that you're working on over on Instagram and talk and visit with us in the Ravelry group, and hopefully it'll all work out fine. So on to the knit along. We have a knit along going on in the group. It's called the Happy Scrappy Socks KAL. That's our hashtag. If I remember, I will put it on the bottom of the screen. And it is running from October 1st through January 31st. The rules are simple. You just have to knit scrappy socks. And you have to be a member of the Ravelry group in order to win a prize. That's it. The socks can be made from mini skeins that you've accumulated in a swapless swap, or you've purchased from a shop, or you've traded with people, or leftovers from other projects you've made. Doesn't matter. Just as long as your socks aren't just one continuous yarn and it's a bunch of different yarns put together scrappy wise. That's it. They can be works in project. They can be whips, which are works in progress. You can have already started the socks ahead of time. That's totally fine. You can double dip in other groups, other Ravelry groups that are doing different knit-alongs. That's fine too. I'm easy. They also can be fingering weight or worsted weight or DK or sport, anything you want. Just knit some scrappy socks. That's all it is. It's just a fun time for us to knit some socks and get through some of our scraps. And be sure to use the hashtag Happy Scrappy Socks KAL over on Ravel or on Instagram. It's so fun to click on that tag and see the items that you guys are making or working on. And then be sure to join us in the group as well. I have both a chatter thread and an FO thread. The chatter thread, feel free to talk and post as much as you'd like. The FO thread, strictly for finished objects. Each time you finish a pair of socks, needs to be a pair. Each time you finish a pair of socks, head on over there and add them in as a new post. Prizes will be drawn from that thread. If I end up getting lots of prizes, I'll probably draw some prizes from the chatter thread as well. but we'll see how that works out as the months go on. For sure from the finished object thread though. And feel free to chatter as much as you'd like over in the chatter thread. It's so much fun. I've already got some of you girls that are just knitting away. You've got legs this long already. It's amazing, probably longer now. And you're gonna have some finished objects before we know it. So I would love for everybody to join us. It's lots of fun. And I've got a couple pairs I'm working on that I'll show you in a little bit. As far as prizes, right now, we have 2 prizes. The first is a spot in an upcoming Swapless Swap. The winner's choice, as long as there's a spot open, you can choose whichever swap you want and I'll get you added and it won't cost you a dime. The second prize I received in the mail this week, and it was from Tanya of Tanya's Stitches. And she sent a whole bundle of prizes here. So excited for this. So one person's gonna win all of this. So she included a super cute notebook that you can just put in your bag and use it for whatever you want, project notes or anything you want. And then she included a DPN holder. So I'll hold it close so you can see her tag. Super cute. There's buttons on the outside for decoration, but then inside we've got snaps. So you just slip your DPNs in here and then snap it up and it holds them safe. She also included this really cute Notions pouch with her tag as well. I love it because the zipper goes all the way, so it opens nice and wide and you can fit lots of stuff in here. My mom and dad were here over the weekend. She's a crocheter and we stuck her crochet hooks in here to see if they would fit, and they fit just fine. So you can put your crochet hooks in here. You can also just put your stitch markers and maybe a little pair of scissors or tape measure, your pen, whatever you'd like. So it's a cute little Notions pouch. And then this is the project bag that she sent. Again, she's got her little tag on it and a handle, which is nice, a pink zipper, so cute. And these rainbows and hot air balloons and clouds. It's just such a cute bag. It's nice, it's boxed at the bottom so it'll stand up for you. And inside is muslin. It's a good sized bag. Easily a pair of socks, probably 2 pairs of socks if you wanted, or a shawl. It's a nice size. So that's Tanya's Stitches, and this is the whole prize pack. One person will win this entire prize pack. She also sent me something I'll show you a little bit later, and she included a coupon code. So I will put that at the bottom of the screen if I can figure out how. If not, it'll be in the show notes. And that's our second prize. If you are a maker of any sort, if you're a yarn dyer, or you make project bags or stitch markers or DPN holders or whatever, anything, I would love for you to donate some prizes to the podcast. Simply send me a message on Ravelry or Instagram, or you can email me. I'll include all of that information in the show notes. If you want to donate, if you just have items at home that maybe a skein of yarn that you think is beautiful but you'll never use and would like to donate it to the podcast, feel free to send me a message. I would love it. It'd be fun to have lots of prizes for this KAL, and I've got lots of other KALs ideas in my head. Things coming up, things in the works with another podcaster. I'm excited about this. So if you'd like to donate, feel free to get a hold of me. So on to the knitting. The first item I'd like to show you is my So Ready for Fall sweater. It's in my Fat Squirrel Fibers library book bag. Love this bag. And I showed you last week. I got a little bit of work done on it. Not a lot. So here's my sweater. Haven't tried it on yet. Need to try to get a little bit further down on the body. Still worried about the sleeves since I had the mess up, but hopefully it'll be okay. But isn't the yarn pretty? So as you can see, this little stitch marker is where I was last time. and I knit down to here. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple inches. So a lot of stitches around, and I wanted to work on my scrappy socks. But the yarn for this, well, the pattern for this is the Sew Faded Sweater by Andrea Mowry. And the yarn is from Yoshi and Lucy. She had a whole Sew Faded kit posted up on her website, and I snagged it up. I just think it's beautiful, and it's going to be so great for fall. So that's my Sew Ready for Fall sweater. And then next up, I wanted to show you a couple pairs of scrappy socks that I've been working on. The first pair is my Happy Scrappy Socks number 3. Now we talked about this before. My first pair were the ones that I made with Artistic Yarn by Abby, and I finished those. My second pair is in the DPUC. They're the speckly ones, and I didn't work on them any this past week. And then this is the third pair that I have, and I did not want to stop knitting on these. So I've got this much done. The little progress keeper here is where I was at last time, and I don't know where I got this progress keeper at. I really want some new cute ones, so give me ideas if you know some Etsy shops that have some really cute stitch markers or progress keepers. I'm going to use them for all my projects, and they're just so fun, so I think I need some new ones. But this is where I've gotten, doing 2 at a time socks. And this yarn is Yarn at Home Mom. I had purchased a couple different mini skein packs from her, all in the Gilmore Girls theme. That's what these are. And just a side note, we have a Yarn at Home Mom swap going on in the Swapless Swap group, Sock Yarn Swappers. It'll be for November, so if you're interested, head on over there and sign up. There's still lots of spaces open. But this is my first pair. I am loving the way they're turning out. And these are the 2 little balls I'm knitting with right now. But I love the shimmer. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but oh, it kind of shows up in that blue one. But they're sparkly and they're just fun. And I'm doing them toe up. Planned on doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I'm starting to have some reservations about it. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. So I'm not 100% sure on the heel I'm going to do yet for this pair. And then this week, on Monday, believe it was Monday, I started another pair of scrappy socks. So these are called Happy Scrappy Socks number 4. And this pair I'm making, well, here they are so far. All I've got is a little bit of a cuff. Still want to do some more of a cuff, but that's what I've got so far. A little progress keeper there, fancy dancy. But this yarn is from Haverland. It was a swapless swap in the Sock Yarn Swappers group. And it was a 40-yard swap, so everybody got 10 minis. And I took the minis, split them up. I believe I split them up. Maybe I just took all 40 yards, about 10 grams. But I did them and I made 2 magic knot balls. So they're all knotted up already and ready to go. There's one of them. There's the other one. And I am just knitting away with these. The yarn is very nice. It's fun to see and anticipate when the next color is coming. I am telling from both of these projects that I really do want to do a pair that have very, very short colors of one color of one yarn and then go to the next one. Probably with a magic knot is how I would do that. But these have nice big chunks of color, which are totally fine. I'm enjoying it. But I think it'd be fun to have a crazy, random, scrappy pair that's just, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds of one color and then on to the next one. No cohesiveness at all. But for now, these are the 2 that I'm working on. This pair, as you can see, are cuff down. So I'm trying something new. I've always knit my socks toe up, pretty much always used the Fish Lip Kiss heel, and they're okay. I've been fine with the socks I've made from them. The heel itself is super easy to do. I feel like it's relatively quick. Excuse me. I feel like it's relatively quick and simple and easy to remember what I've done, but I just don't think they fit me very well. And when my parents were here this past weekend, it finally got cool for us. It's been so hot, and it finally got a little cool. And I had on a pair of hand knit socks that I had just finished not too long ago, out of Mustache Yarns. And I'll insert a picture, hopefully up here in the corner. We'll see if I figure out how to do that. But I took a picture of me sitting with my feet crossed on our footstool, and you could see that the heel of my toe, I'm sorry, the heel of my sock was like bunching out from my foot. It wasn't up smooth or cupping my heel, it was out bunching. When I put them on, I pull them on and they fit me perfectly fine. The length of the sock seems right. The heel seems okay, everything seems fine. But after I wear them for a little bit, they start to scrunch down like that. So I posted on Facebook, a bunch of different knitting groups that I'm in, and asked people what they thought. What could be the problem? Is my foot too long? Is it too short? Could it be the heel? And an awful lot of people said that they think that it could possibly be the heel. That the Fish Lips Kiss heel does the same thing for some of them, or they've heard of it doing it to them. And really any short row heel, that's what they've said, that they have heard that some short row heels on certain feet can kind of poke out like that and not fit comfortably. And the reason is, I guess I have a high instep. I still don't understand that, because to me a high instep you would think would be kind of archy and lots of space. Mine aren't. Mine are very thick and my feet are wide to begin with. And then like the area where my ankle or my heel and all is very thick. So I guess that's called a high instep. I'm not 100% sure on that. But regardless, a lot of people suggested that I try a heel flap and gusset. So like I said, I always do toe up. So I've had some suggestions for toe up heel flap and gusset. And I'm going to try those. I might even try those on the other pair of scrappy socks I'm working on. Another toe up type heel that people recommended for me to try is the Flegel, I think I'm saying that right, heel. Both of those I've looked a little bit online and YouTube, watched some videos, and I'm gonna probably attempt one of those in this other pair of scrappy socks, the Gilmore Girl ones from Yarn at Home Mom. But then for the Haverland ones, I decided to go ahead and knit them cuff down. And I'm going to do a traditional heel flap and gusset. To be honest, I've done a couple heel flap and gussets when I first started knitting socks, and I don't really know why I switched, other than I didn't really like Kitchenering the toe. I think that's the only reason why. I actually really enjoy the process of the heel flap and the heel turn and picking up the stitches and knitting the gusset. I enjoy all of that a lot. So I'm not dreading that. The Kitchener stitch, I don't enjoy at all, and I don't feel like I do very well. But I think I've heard something about either a spiral toe or a star toe or something to that effect, where you do your decreases all the way around the toe, and then at the end you just slip your yarn through and pull it. No Kitchener. So I need to do more research on that. If any of you have knit a toe like that, please head over to the Ravelry group or the comments down below and let me know what you used and if you like it and how you did it, or a link to somewhere where I can learn how to do it. And same with the heels. If you have a thicker type heel area, I guess it's called a higher instep, I'm not sure, and you have trouble with the Fish Lips Kiss heel, let me know what you use. If you use a traditional heel flap and gusset, or the Flegel, or the toe up heel flap and gusset, whatever you do, I'd love to hear about it. I feel like I kind of thought I had my sock knitting plans all down and I knew what I was going to do, but I mean, they're fun to knit. I love knitting them, but I also want to love wearing them. And after wearing that pair and watching them bunch like that, I don't know, I was frustrated. So I'm anxious to try out all of these different styles. I figured these scrappy socks are going to be a fun way to do it. I want to knit them for the KAL, and I might as well just throw in some different heels and toes and see what I come up with. Maybe at the end of January I'll have a brand new recipe that I use for my socks, and they'll be fitting perfectly and I'll be loving them. So let me know your thoughts either in the comments below or in the Ravelry group. I would love to hear what you think about all of them. And that's it for current works in progress. No FOs. I warned you, and hopefully after 2 weeks maybe I'll have something to show. Excuse me. But for right now I don't have any FOs. I do have some Sock Yarn Swappers stuff to talk about though. First thing, breaking news, breaking news. Posted this on Instagram and Facebook yesterday, I believe, but I wanted to let everybody know here too. The prices of all swapless swaps effective immediately, except for the Christmas Advent swap, the Felici swap, and the Spring Fling swap. Except for those three, all other swapless swaps in my group and any other podcaster groups that I'm running the swaps in, all prices will be lowered by $5. So for US residents, that means that for a regular swapless swap, it's $30. It was $35 and we're going to go back down to $30. If it's a self-striping swapless swap, then it'll be $40. Now for the swapless swaps, you get either 20 yard minis or 10 40 yard minis. So that's approximately 100 grams or approximately 400 yards of fingering weight yarn, and all different colors from one dyer. So it's approximately the amount of one skein of yarn, but you get a bunch of different colors. One swap is enough to do a pair of socks, scrappy socks if you want, or lots of squares on your blanket, or on your granny stripe, or anything else. I've even seen sockhead hats knit out of the mini skeins. But the breaking news part is the prices have been lowered by $5 effective immediately. All threads have been updated. So head on over to the Ravelry group, Sock Yarn Swappers. I will put a link for that in the show notes as well. And sign up for some swaps. They're super fun. And a lot of them still have lots of spots open. If you are signed up for any that are due in October, do not forget the payment is due by October 15th, period. I'll be sending out some reminders. I typically send out 2 through Ravelry messaging. I send one out usually around the 10th of the month, and then the second one out usually around the 13th or 14th. And anyone that hasn't paid yet, I send them a reminder. If people aren't able to pay by the 15th, then I remove them from the swap, and that's when I go on to the alternate list. So if you see a swap you're interested in and it's full, go ahead and add your name as an alternate, because sometimes we get through the list and we end up going down to the alternates. But like I said, there's lots of spots open right now, and feel free to head on over and get signed up for any of them. And don't forget to pay for the October ones by due date, which is October 15th. Now, I thought it would be fun if I showed you a little bit of work that we did this past week, my husband and I, and actually my parents too. They were here this weekend, and it was a beautiful visit. But while they were here, they wanted to help. So my mom helped me with the Clear the Containers swap. We were working on swapping some of those and getting them into packaging. And my dad caked yarn with my electric ball winder. And my hubby got to kind of be the runner between all of us and help us all out when we needed it. He took a couple pictures, and if I can remember, I'll stick them in here for you guys. The one of me and my mom is, we look like we're dead or zombies or something, because he didn't tell us he was taking the picture and our heads are down. We look funny. And then he got a couple of my dad working on the ball winder, which I just love that Daddy even wanted to do that. And I love that Mom wanted to help me. It's so much fun for them to help me. And of course it's a help as well. But so while they were here, my mom and I worked on a bunch of the clear the containers. And I thought it'd be fun to show you some. I don't have them finished yet. They're not ready to ship yet. I'm still working on making a lot of the minis. But we do have some packaged up. So, just as an example, if you ordered the Clear the Containers 20-yard swab, this is what you'll get in the mail. So it's just a Ziploc baggie, and it has 20-yard mini skeins, and then you get a little label that tells you the name of the swap. For these ones, they're various colorways, of course, so there's nothing listed. On the regular swaps where I have one dyer, I list all of the colorway names on the front, so you can pretty easily match them up or get in touch with the dyer and they'll be able to help you. But this is one of the 20-yard swaps. So it's all ready to go. Lots of fun minis. And then this is one of the 40-yard swaps. So as you can see, the Clear the Container ones. As you can see, the minis are a lot bigger in these ones, and you don't get as many, but that's just a personal preference of what you want to use with them. It's got the same label on the front. So this is a good idea of what you'll get if you sign up for any of the Swapless Swaps with the new lower price. And then my husband and I have been working with our big ball winding machine, making mini skeins. So what we've been working on this past week, which October 15th, which is when all of these need to ship, is coming up very, very soon. So we are going to be working very hard the next week, week and a half. But what we've been working on are, these are some minis for the Vivid Yarn Swapless Swap that I held in the Grocery Girls group. So the Grocery Girls, wonderful podcast. Love their podcast so much. They're amazing. They're so funny. And their Ravelry group is very active and fun. And they have allowed me a couple different times now to host a Swapless Swap in their group. And they're very successful every time I hold one. I'm always wanting to do more. So Jody or Tracy, if you happen to see this, I would love to do some more swaps with you in your group. But regardless, the one we're working on right now is the Vivid Yarn Studios Swapless Swap. It's a 40-yard swap. You might have seen a picture on Instagram. Again, if I remember, I'll stick a picture up here of the yarn that I had over on my table for my ball winder. I had 120 skeins, I think, maybe 110 skeins. I don't remember. A ton of skeins of yarn that needed to be caked. I used my electric ball winder and I caked them. My dad caked some for me this past weekend. We got them all caked, and now we're working on making the minis. So for each color yarn, we're gonna have 3 big bags like this full of them. And we make them, stick them in the bag, make them, stick them in the bag. And then later, once I get all the colors done, we sit out on the floor and then spread them all out and get them all swapped into individual packages similar to this. So I thought you might enjoy having a little sneak peek. Here's one of the colors. Super pretty and speckly. And here's another color, which just looks like fall to me. I just love this one. I was considering getting another skein just to knit a pair of socks for myself, but I ended up telling myself no, I wasn't allowed. So I didn't do it, but that's what these are. Super fun, and we've got a lot more to do. You'll probably see me posting about it on Instagram and Ravelry and Facebook, and I like keeping everybody updated. It's lots of fun. Eventually, I'm still planning on doing a video of me running my skein winder, making the minis with the machine. Maybe a better video than what I did on Instagram, of the ball winder, the cake machine to make the cakes, even us swapping, just the whole process. I think it's probably fun for everybody to see. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and I love sharing all of these minis with everybody. So that's pretty much it for the actual podcast. I thought I'd talk a little bit about life stuff. My parents, I've mentioned it a couple times already, came to visit this past weekend. They're full-time RVers, and they're actually in Indiana right now working. So they were able to take a weekend and come visit my husband and I. We had a great time. I really wish that they would just move back here to Newark, Ohio and not do RVing anymore. But I know they love it and I want them happy, but I miss them when they're gone. But we had a really nice visit. They have a dog, Chloe, who is a little dog. I don't know what she is, but she's a female and she's a little bit older. And then of course we have our puppy Buddy, who is young and crazy, and he just wanted to play with Chloe the whole time, and Chloe was not having any of it. She would growl and grumble and grouch at him, and he just thought she was playing and just kept trying to play. It was adorable. Should have gotten some good video of it, but hopefully next visit I'll be able to do that. They helped me with the minis. That was really fun. We ate lots of yummy food. We went for a drive around town for them to see the changes of things that have happened. We went out past where we used to live when I was a kid. That always brings back so many memories. It was a really nice visit. And then when they left, Buddy slept for days and days and days, and Tom and I rested for days and days. And we're finally getting back to normal, and the busy, crazy time is pretty much over now for us. This coming Friday night, we have a fun concert. We're going to see Trace Atkins, the country singer, at a local theater. It's called the Midland Theater, if you happen to know anything about Newark, Ohio. It's just a pretty small venue, and it's going to be amazing. We've seen him a couple times before, and he does a great show, and this is going to seem like a really intimate, small setting, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we're going to that on Friday, but then after that, pretty much easy sailing, not much going on until Thanksgiving, which is good. We're ready for that. We've been so busy, and I'm ready to just focus on getting my minis made and spending time with my amazing husband and knitting and crocheting and just relaxing. It's cooler here today. I don't know if you can hear, but it's raining. I've got the window open. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But I believe fall is finally on its way, which is nice. And life is just easy. We're relaxing and enjoying ourselves. So I hope you are enjoying yourself as well. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. Again, if you did, please hit the subscribe button and join our group over on Ravelry. And I will see you in 2 weeks. I hope you have a happy, scrappy couple of weeks. Bye!